Jai.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we have come to, yesterday we did chapter 16. Yes. Okay. So let's see chapter 16. What did we do? Let's just revise once. We, as Rajlakshmi Mataji correctly said, we did about divine and demoniac qualities, 26 divine qualities and 6 demoniac qualities. Then we learned about demoniac nature, their activity, how they behave, their mentality. They don't know anything, what is to be done, what is not to be done. They do not follow any shastras. They are very much self-centered and they don't behave well, improper behavior. Then they are unclean. They are unclean inside and outside. They don't like or they don't want to follow any kind of rules. Then there is a choice. Everyone has a choice. There are 3 gates to hell, and the 3 gates to hell are lust, anger, and greed. You can remember it as lag, L-A-G, lag. Don't lag. Hare Krishna. Okay. So we come to today's chapter. Today's chapter is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Shraddha. Shraddha means what? Traya, 3. Shraddha, faith. Vibhaga Yoga. So 17th chapter is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga, the divisions of faith. So 16th chapter, how did it end? By Krishna, Lord Krishna saying, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vavastitau Jnatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Karma Kartumiharhasi. So Krishna said that one who understands that what is duty, what is not duty by regulations of the scriptures, follow the scriptures by knowing rules and regulations. And if he follows that, he will be elevated. Then he comes to 17th chapter. 17th chapter is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. There are 28 shlokas. Arjun spoke the first shloka. He asks Krishna that, Lord Krishna, if those who disregard the scriptures, but they are worshipping God with faith, what is their state of mind? Are they in sattvic or rajasic or tamasic? They wanted to know. So to that, Lord Krishna says that each individual is endowed with faith. Everybody has that Shraddha, faith. It is generated by mind, mindset. The mindset of human beings are of 3 kinds: sattvic mindset, rajasic mindset, and tamasic mindset. As is the faith of the person, so is the person, right? We will learn about it and read about 3 kinds of faith, and then faith in food, sacrifice, austerity, charity in 3 modes, and conclusion with Om Tat Sat. Arjuna Uvacha Ye Shastra Vidhimutsrijya Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha Tesham Nishtatuka Krishna Satvamaho Rajastamaha. Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of scripture but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance? So this is the question that Arjuna is asking. What happens to those people? Like we see in, I don't know whether you all have seen those movies, but I've heard from my kids also that they saw the movie PK, where the actor goes and he, in that movie, they show different types of people worshipping. So this actor, the hero, I think he goes to the college gate and he will do one thing. He will just take a stone and he puts some kumkum, some money, and then he runs away from there. And then some students who are going into the college, they look at that and they think it's God, and they blindly go and worship that stone. Even in the other movie, oh my God, people are pouring milk and it is going down the drain. Do you think it is right? Why are we wasting so much of milk? I mean, let it come into some container where people can drink, but it's going down the drain for no reason. So are they doing the right type of worship? We need to think. And temple deity, it has to be installed by a proper bona fide guru. And Arjuna is asking here that they worship according to their own imagination. If that is okay, then there are so many people who are worshipping ghosts and all. It's not right. Are they in goodness, passion, or ignorance? As adults, we need to know, right, to whom we are praying. In 4th chapter also, Krishna had told that person who are devoted to particular type of worship, they will gradually elevate to the level of knowledge. They are doing that worship slowly with knowledge. They are elevating themselves and ultimately want to attain the highest siddha stage of peace and prosperity. So he says, right, Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparas sanyitendriyaha jnanam labdha param shantim achirena adhigacchati. In 16th chapter also, yesterday it was concluded that one who does not follow the principles laid down in the scriptures, they are called asura or demons, and one who follows the scriptural injunctions, they are called deva or demigod. So if one with faith follows some rules which are not mentioned in the scriptural injunctions, what is his position? He is following some rules, but he is not following completely the scriptural injunctions. So what will be his position? This is Arjuna's doubt, which will be cleared by Krishna. So are those who create some sort of God by selecting even a human being and placing their faith in him, are they worshipping in goodness, passion, or ignorance? Do such persons attain perfectional stage of life? Is it possible for them to be situated in real knowledge, elevate themselves to that higher position? What happens if they do not follow the rules and regulations? What will happen to them? And if they are not following scriptural injunction, they have faith in something. They worship God and demigods and human beings. They attain success in their efforts. It's a big question. Arjuna is putting these questions to Krishna. He wants to know the answers. So Krishna will tell. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Trividha Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja Satviki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Chetitam Shruno. The Supreme Lord said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of 3 kinds: goodness, passion, or ignorance. Now hear about this. So we have already learned what these 3 modes are. Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic, we learned. So based on these modes, 3 types of people are praying. So we have seen, right, ghost worship. Do you think it's the right thing? But it's happening. But in goodness, people do Devta Puja, demigod puja. The Rajasic people, they want to, like Hiranyakashyap, they are demons. They want some material gains, right? Even now, when we see some places in some theaters, if you go, and I still remember when I was young that we used to go to theater, and then any great actor, people would they will make a temple for them. They will worship them like anything. It's ridiculous. They are in Rajoguna. Those who worship ghosts are in Tamoguna mode. So those who are in goodness, they worship some particular demigod for a particular purpose. So those who are in the mode of passion, they are worshipping the demons. So Lord Krishna is saying that quality of our faith, it will decide the direction of our life. What kind of quality we have in our faith. So in turn, the quality of our faith is decided by what? It is decided by the nature of our mind, what kind of mind we have. According to the mind, that quality of faith develops. According to the quality of faith develops, the direction of our life also turns. That's what Krishna is explaining here. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayoyam purushaha yo yat shraddhassa eva saha. O son of Bharata, according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of a particular faith according to the modes he has acquired. So it should be understood, that if one's heart, my heart is in mode of goodness, for example, so my faith will be also in mode of goodness. If my heart is in the mode of passion, my faith will be in the mode of passion. And if my heart is in the mode of ignorance or darkness, illusion, my faith will also be contaminated. So we find different types of faith in this world, and there are different types of religions due to different types of faith. So we have to decide according to different types of faith. There are different kinds of worship also. So the real principle of religious faith is situated in mode of pure goodness. But because heart is tainted, heart is contaminated, it's difficult. We find different types of religious principles because of that. So according to different types of faith, there are different types of worship. Yajante satvika devan yaksharaksham rajasaha pretan bhutaganamshchanye yajante tamasa janaha. Men in mode of goodness worship demigods. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons, and those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. During the Second World War in Calcutta, now Kolkata, there was a man who used to worship Hitler. Why? He felt that because thanks to the war, he had amassed a large amount of wealth by dealing in black marketing. So he started worshipping Hitler. Because of you, I've got so much money, so I worship you. Similarly, those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance, they will select a powerful man as God. And then that same results will, they think that anyone can be worshipped as God, and the same results can be obtained. They are completely in ignorance. They're completely in darkness. They're completely in illusion. And they're in the mode of passion. But those who are completely in illusion, they go and they start praying the ghosts. The men in passion, they start praying the any important, powerful person. And somebody who's in the mode of darkness, complete illusion, they will go and dead spirits. They start worshipping dead spirits. Even in remote India, you go to remote villages in India, you will find there are worshippers of ghosts. We have seen in India, people sometimes, they go to the forest, and if they have the knowledge that there is a ghost in that tree, they will worship that tree and they will offer a lot of sacrifices. So these different kinds of worship are not actually God worship. Srila Prabhupada and his purport, he explains that, God worship is for persons who are transcendently situated in pure goodness. In even Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, right, Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabditam. Means when a man is situated in pure goodness, he worships Vasudeva. It's written in Srimad Bhagavatam. The purport is that they who are completely purified of material modes of nature, they are away from this, and who are transcendently situated, they can only pray to Lord Krishna, pray to Supreme Personality of Godhead. They can worship him. Ashastra vihitam ghoram tapyante ye tapojanaha dambha hankara sanyuktaha kamaraga balanvitaha harshayanta sharirastham bhutagrama macetasaha mam chaivanta sharirastham tan vidyasura nishchayan. Those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride, egotism, lust, attachment, who are impelled by passion and who torture their bodily organs as well as super soul dwelling within, are to be known as demons. There's so many you can see in the picture. There are persons who manufacture modes of austerity and penance which are not even mentioned in the scriptural injunctions. Some, they are lying on the bed of thorns. They are driving spikes through their bodies. It's so painful. You can see how he has put everything on his body here. It's very, very painful. Why do you have to torture yourself? Others, somebody is keeping one hand raised for years together. And as a procedure, they believe it will help them gain mystic abilities. Some are doing long fasts. They are withering their body away for, I don't know what, material gains probably. So Lord Krishna says, "Oh Arjun, you asked me about the status of those who disregard scriptural injunctions, right? And they are yet worshipping with faith. They are having faith, but they don't follow scriptures. So he's saying, I'm telling you that faith is visible even in people who perform severe austerities. But yeah, it is true. We can see faith in them also. But it is bereft, means it is deprived of not having proper basis of knowledge. They are having their own faith, but they are not following scriptures. So they are not having correct knowledge. Such people, they do possess deep conviction in the effectiveness of their practice. They think that my practice, it is going to get somewhere, but their faith is in the mode of ignorance. Those who are abusing, they are torturing their bodies, they are disrespecting the supreme soul inside. He is residing inside. We know super soul is residing. Why are you torturing him? Why are you torturing yourself? I know, like they say, soul is immortal and all that, but it is disrespecting in a way. So Krishna is saying that all these are contrary to the recommended path of scriptures. That's what Krishna is saying. Having described all the three categories of faith, now Lord Krishna is going to explain that, how it affects in the categories of food, activities, sacrifice, charity, and so forth. Let's see that. Okay, before we go to that one, you see here, if you are in Sattva Guna, you're praying to demigods and you are having mode of goodness, you go to heaven. If you are worshipping the demons, you are having Rajas Guna and you go to hell. Then if you are in Tamoguna mode, you normally worship the ghosts, you go to ghostly planets. And those who are in pray to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, they are having Shuddha Sattva Guna above all these three modes, and we go to Goloka Vrindavan. So, they are worshipping, if you worship ghosts, what will happen? Ghostly planets, right? If we worship Krishna, we go to Goloka Vrindavan. We don't have to come back, right? Krishna says in 15th lesson, we have already done that. Tetam bhuktva swarga lokam vishalam, shine punye martya lokam vishanti, means what? Those who have done, they go to Swargalok once the merits are over. When they have enjoyed the whole heaven, all the merits gone, exhausted, they return back to earthly planets. Then those who are following the Vedic rituals, they want some, some kind of enjoyment they want, they will repeatedly come and go in this world, right? And then Krishna says, if you come to my world, he says, na tat bhasayate suryaha, na shashanko na pavakaha, yad gatva na nivartante, tadhama paramam mama. If you come to me, you don't need any sun, there is no moon, there is no electricity required. You come to my abode, you don't have to go back again. Once you come, you don't have to go back to the material world again, says Krishna, if you go to Golok Vrindavan. You are what you eat. Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi. So we all take, do you all take junk food sometimes? Like Coke, burger, pizza, etc. Like, do you all eat sometimes? You can chat, tell me yes or no, that's it. Yes, that means you are eating sometimes. No means you are not at all eating. Okay. Okay. Yeah, got it. Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Sometimes it's fine. We shouldn't eat every day. It's not good for health. They add colors. We don't even know what kind of oil they are using. They use a lot of butter. It leads to health issues because they say you are what you eat, right? So the santas, the munis who are there, they have full of love and love for Krishna, for Govinda, the giver of all pleasures, Mukunda, the giver of liberation, Krishna, all attractive. They cannot accept anything without first offering to Krishna. So the mind and the body, it impacts each other. Mind and the body, they are related. This food that we are eating, it will influence our nature and vice versa also, And in the Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, it has been explained then the coarsest part of the food we eat, it passes out as feces, as stools. The subtler part, it becomes our flesh. And the subtlest part, it becomes our mind. So again, as I just told, ahara shuddha sattva shuddhihi. So it is there. So by eating pure food, araha shuddha means pure food, sattva shuddhihi, mind becomes pure. So reverse is also true, right? People who have pure mind want to eat pure food. Reverse is also true. Ayu sattva bala rogya sukha priti vivardhanaha rasya sniktha sthira rityaha ahara satvika priyaha. Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life. Purify one's existence and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart. So Krishna has told. Krishna told in 9th chapter also what he likes to be offered. What is it? Anybody remembers? What all Krishna wants? He told in 9th chapter. Anyone remember? Komal Prabhuji, flower, okay. Leaf, fruit, Pavitra Mataji. Phalam, leaf, water, Rishi Prabhuji. Phalam, toyam, pushpam, phalam, okay. Pavitra Mataji, then Prerna Mataji told all, Shri Priya Mataji, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, toyam. Very nice. Anybody knows the shloka? Anybody remembers the shloka can raise their hand. I can unmute them. If you remember the shloka. If you remember the shloka, then I can unmute you. Yeah? Okay. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhaktayupahrutam ashnami prayatatmanaha. So one who offers me with love and devotion, a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. So Krishna is saying it should be sattvic vegetarian. He is making it very clear, right? No onion, garlic, not even spicy. And if we taste before even offering Krishna, it is completely waste. Don't waste it. It becomes a waste. So in the above verse, what is he saying? The foods are described with ayu sattva. Ayu sattva, meaning what? Which ayu means age. Sattva. If you eat sattva food, it will promote longevity. You will live for longer. That's what Krishna says. Devotees of the Lord who are in Krishna consciousness and mode of goodness like to offer food to Krishna first and then eat. This it's a process, you know. It will nourish the body spiritually if we offer that to Krishna, because everything is Krishna's. We are offering it to Krishna. With his permission, we are eating. So by such action, what happens? What is the use? If we ask why we offer, what will happen? Our past sinful reactions in the body reduces. Even in the past ones also. Just imagine what the benefit we are getting. But body also gets immunized to all contamination of material nature. Whatever contamination we have here, slowly, when we are eating something good, it purifies the mind. Like, as I told you before also, there is epidemic going on. Antiseptic vaccines were given. Why were they given? To protect the person from the attack of such epidemic. Similarly, food which we offer to Lord Krishna and then take, what will happen to that? It will make us resistant to this material affection here, which we get attracted to that, right? We have so much attached to this material thing. Means when we get this instinct, right, to stay away, we will get the instinct, okay, I should stay away from the material stuff. Like, I want more jewelry, I want 3 more different types of cars, all these desires and all will slowly, it will wash away. And the persons who offer food to the Lord first and then eat that prasadam, first you offer bhoga and then eat the prasadam, that person is a devotee of the Lord. And the one who does not do so is increasing the volumes of his sinful action. He is preparing for the next body already, which may resemble what we don't know what species it may resemble. We may suffer according to the whatever karma we do for the resultant reactions, right? And we become subjected to even contamination, material contamination. You can see in this, I found this when I was reading something, I saw that Bernard Shaw, famous English writer, who said, I do not want to make my stomach a graveyard of dead animals. I was reading about some vegetarian food when I happened to see that Leonardo da Vinci was also a vegetarian, apparently. And interestingly, Pythagoras, sometimes he was also called father of vegetarianism. He advocated spiritually uplifting meatless diet for his followers. So you can imagine, even those, they were also following that. Katvam lalavana tushna tikshna ruksha vidahinaha ahara rajasa sheshta dukkha shokamaya pradaha. Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease. Some put a lot of chilies. It's very difficult for the stomach, right? As we get burning sensation in the stomach. So Rajasic food, it's very bitter, very sour, very salty, very hot, very pungent. It will give us ill health, right? So those who are in the modes of passion, they like that food. They want to eat such food. But those who are in the mode of goodness, they find it a little bit difficult to eat that. Purpose of eating. What is the purpose of eating? We are eating. What is the purpose? It is to relish bliss through the palate. This is the palate, right? Not relish bliss through the palate. We have this. This is the palate. We don't have to relish everything. Taste, it's very nice. We don't have to do that. It is just to keep our body healthy and strong. That is the actual purpose of food. But what happens is, we forget that and we start enjoying each and everything, thinking, oh, wow, the body, the senses are so much enjoying. We start relishing it. As the old saying goes, right? We must eat to live, not live to eat. There is a saying, not with there must be having some meaning behind it, right? If they put a saying there. Yatayamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uttishthamapi cha medhyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. Food prepared more than 3 hours before eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed, putrid, and food containing remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. So what is the purpose of food? Anybody who can tell me what is the purpose of food? Yes, Krishna enjoys Nevedyam. Yes, it is very nice. He likes sattvic food. Yes, you can have all kinds of sattvic food. So to nourish us, okay, food for life, okay, to enrich the body offered to Lord Krishna. Very nice. Nourish, to nourish Alpamatas. Very nice. Okay. So yeah, it's as we said, Ayu Sattva Balarogya, to increase the duration of life, purify the mind, to aid the bodily strength. We need strength also, right? This is its only purpose. What is the purpose? It increase the life, purify the mind, and make the body healthy. As if we eat junk food, will you become healthy? Like, yata yama means what? Food cooked 3 hours before. Gata rasam, that rasa, that it's become gata, like tasteless, right? Puti, bad smelling. Paryushitam, it becomes very decomposed. The uttishtam means the food that is leftovers. Then amedhyam, not touchable, can't use it. So like that. So cooked foods, that remain more than 3 hours, he says that Krishna says that they are impure, and something that is bad, tasteless. These impure foods include all kinds of products. So nature has, it includes meat products actually. So nature actually has designed the human body to be vegetarian. Human body do not have long canine teeth as carnivorous animals do, or a wide jaw suitable for tearing the flesh. Carnivores have short bowels to allow minimal transit time for that dead animal food. Dead animal food, what happens when it goes inside, putrefies very fast, decays very fast. So animals have shorter bowels, so it finishes quickly. Whereas humans have longer digestive tract for slow and better absorption of food, plant food. Stomach of carnivores, it's acidic, more acidic than human beings. Ours is also, but theirs is more. right? It helps them to digest the raw meat. We can't. And interestingly, I saw that carnivorous animals, they do not sweat through the pores. We sweat through pores. They do not sweat through pores. They regulate their body temperature through their tongue, right? But herbivorous animals and humans, we control through sweating through our skin. While drinking also something, they are lapping like this with their tongue, lapping. We suck it. We usually suck, but they lap everything. So these are all physical characteristics that God has made for some reason, right? It Krishna is saying here, so he must have saying, he must be saying for some reason, and God has not created us to be a carnivorous creature, right? So anyway, the meat anyway is considered impure according to Bhagavad Gita. So you are what you eat. So in goodness, you eat wholesome, juicy, pleasing. What is the result? Long life, purifying strength, disease-free happiness. Passion, bitter, sour, pungent, burning, result, distress, misery, disease. If you're eating in ignorance, tasteless, decomposed, untouchable things, infection, disease, contaminating, early death. So we have to come to, slowly we have to come to Shuddha Sattva Guna. You eat everything, they say, it's written in Shastras, you become a pig. Somewhere it's written, if you expose your body, you become a tree. You sleep a lot, you become an animal who sleeps for 6 months. So best food is what? Prasadam. What we offer to God. It's beyond the 3 modes. What is that mode? Shuddha Sattva Guna. Right? We are not vegetarians. As Srila Prabhupada very nicely puts. He says we are prasadatarians. And prasadam we can offer to Krishna only that he wants to eat, not what we want to eat. Apala akanchibir yajnaha vidhidrishto ya ijyate yashtavyameveti manaha samadhaya sasatvikaha. Of sacrifices. Now we have come from food to sacrifice. Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the directions of scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is the nature of goodness. From food, in all the 3 modes, we are coming to sacrifice, all the 3 modes. So general tendency to offer sacrifice is always having a purpose in mind, right? But here Krishna says we should not have any purpose when we are doing, and it should be performed without any desire. So sacrifices again are divided into 3 modes. The nature of yajna corresponds to 3 gunas. So Lord Krishna is trying to explain the type of sacrifice and mode of goodness. Aphala akankshibihi. Aphala means what? Sacrifice should be performed without aphala, means no expectation. Phal means what? Reward, right? So aphala. So without expectation of any reward. Vidhi Drishta. Vidhi Drishta means what? It must be done vidhi. Vidhi is like what? According to the rule, right? Vidhi. Drishta means one direction. So you have to do everything with a proper direction according to the Vedic injunctions, scriptures. Yashtavyame eveti means what? You have to perform it for the sake of Lord, for the sake of worship to the Lord. So as required by the scriptures, according to scriptural injunctions. So it should be properly done, then it will be called to be in the mode of goodness. So in Kali Yuga, what has to be done? We have to do something, right? Anyone? What can we do in Kali Yuga? What kind of yajna can we do? Yeah, chanting, very nice. Japa, very nice. In Kali Yuga, we can do chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is what we can do now here. Sankirta Yajna in Kali Yuga. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons performed congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to spread the Sankirtan movement. So Japa, when you chant Hare Krishna mantra quietly, Sankirtana, when you are chanting and loudly with all kinds of devotees, and Then like Hare Krishna, you have Kirtan. Doing Kirtan is glorifying Lord, right? So the same mantra, if you're loudly chanting with all other devotees, it is Kirtana. So it can be done in any matter, in any manner. But of course, if you do Kirtan, you're benefiting others also who are hearing. So it is said that whoever is chanting the holy name in Padma Purana, I think it's written that softly or loudly or whatever, they are moving towards the path of liberation. So it is very, very important that we should not forget that we should chant. So I remember one story, reading one story about Narad Muni. He had approached Lord Krishna and he asked, "What is the greatness of this mantra that you're talking about? So explain the glories of this mantra, so that other people, down there on the earth, they will understand." Krishna said, "I cannot explain to you the greatness of my mantras, but I can make you realize it. You can experience that. So that is more important, right? More than understanding, if you can experience nothing like that." So he said, "Yeah, yeah, sure." So Lord Krishna told Narad Muni, chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya or Om Namo Narayana in the ear of a small and insignificant worm. So Narad Muni did that. He chanted Om Namo Narayana in the ear of a worm. To his surprise, it died. So Narad Muni went fast to Krishna. He said, "You know what happened? It died." He said, "Okay, is that so? Okay, do one thing. There is a butterfly there. Did you see that? It's sitting on that flower over there. Go, tell her. Okay, just see what it said." Narad Muni did that again, but butterfly also died immediately. Now Narad Muni got worried. What is Lord Krishna doing with me? He is telling me that he will explain, and what am I experiencing? So Lord Krishna told Narad Muni, do one thing. Go and there is a deer out there. You will know once I'm pointing out. You go there. You tell in deer's ear now. So he repeated the mantra in deer's ear also. It also fell to death. Narad Muni became very much disturbed. He said, "What is going on? I can't tolerate this now. Everybody is dying." He said, "Your mantra is killing everyone, Krishna. I uttered the mantra and poor animals, they're dying. I don't want to do it." I said, "Okay, do one thing. Go and tell there is a small calf. Just go and tell." Narad Muni, "What is this, Krishna? Do I have to do this mantra and kill that calf also? I don't want to be guilty of performing such a sin of killing a cow." "Just do as I say, Narada." So he repeated the mantra, and as expected, and calf died immediately. Now he became very much agitated. He thought to himself, "I'm proving myself to the world to be a real mischief maker. I'm killing so many people. What can I do now?" So he again went to Krishna and told, "This is what happened." So now Krishna says, "Okay, now you do one thing. Go to Kashi. Okay, the king of Kashi has been blessed with a son. Okay, go and say this mantra in his ears." Narada became very, very much worried now. He didn't want to, but he didn't want to disobey Krishna also. It is his order. So he said, maybe Krishna is having some higher purpose in mind. So let me just go. So Narad Muni went, traveled to Kashi. He was honored by King of Kashi, and then the king invited him and said, "Oh, please bless my son." Now Narad Muni started trembling, but somehow he regained his courage, and then he recited the mantra in the small child's ear. And then wonders of wonder happened. The small child sat on the bed and started speaking. To his surprise, "Oh, Narad Muni, you saved me in all my previous births by uttering the mantra Om Namo Narayana in my ears. First I was in the body of a worm, then in the body of a butterfly, then deer, then calf. By speaking the holy name of Narayana, I was relieved of all the sufferings of all bodies. Now I can finally go to the Lord." So have you now understood the power of Lord's name and mantras? Narada came back to Krishna and he just fell at Krishna's feet. He said, "Now I know the importance of your mantra." So it is, we are all trapped in this material world in different bodies. This is a prison house of our body and material world. We're under the influence of this material world, Maya. This is the illusionary energy of the Lord, right? We have only short life. Let us make use of this life. We think that all this is our permanent positions. It is not. It's not a permanent asset. We are very much attached to it, but very important to know that we must attach ourselves to serving the Lord. We have to get out of fear. So getting out of fear is very difficult. So what is the solution? Only by the mercy of devotee who gives us the name of Krishna, we can cross over this material miseries of birth, death, old age, and disease. Only by chanting the name of holy name of Lord Krishna can we find the solution, right? So from this story, we understand how holy name of Krishna can elevate us from any position in life, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced, and he spread the Sankirtan movement. Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Abhisandhaya tu phalam dambhartam api chaivayat ijyate bharata sreshta tam yajnam vitti rajasam. But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of Bharatas, you should know to be in the mode of passion. So if you are performing just to for some desire to go to heavenly kingdom, for kids or for wealth, for name, fame, it's like doing a business deal. Okay, God, I will do this kind of puja. Okay, now I'm going to offer you this many laddus, this many sweets, this many garlands, this many lights. Then what will I get in return? Pure selfishness. But pure devotee, he doesn't seek anything in return. He says, I'm doing it. Just I want to be at your lotus feet. That's it. If it is for the sake of rewards, status or something, it is rajasic in nature. Vidhihinam srashtannam mantrahinam dakshinam shraddha virahitam yajnam tamasah parichakshate. Any sacrifice performed without regard for the directions of scripture, without distribution of prasadam, without chanting of Vedic hymns, remunerations to the priests without faith is considered to be in mode of ignorance. We do Devi Devtas pujas and all for wealth. And sometimes we don't even use that money for good purposes also. We're just enjoying going partying and doing all that, ignoring the scriptural injunctions. And sometimes, these pandals are made whenever we have festival, God festivals, we have pandals and all. Lot of money is spent on that pomp and splendor and lightings and God knows what all. Actually, money should be given to the priests who's performing the religious ceremony, but it's not done. They are not even given any kind of respect. So they are just showing off, putting loads of lighting and creating a lot of traffic jam. Everything is fake. They are just, why are you doing all that? What is the purpose? Purpose is faith or worship. Don't do that. Instead, they forget that and they are trying to, create a different kind of splendor over there. And sacrifice, if they are ignoring the scriptural injunctions and doing the puja, not doing the puja, then what happens? They do not do puja because of the laziness, indifference, mode of ignorance. And if they are in mode of ignorance or darkness, then they don't have faith in God at all, right? So among many materialistic and demoniac people, we know there was a demon Vrikasura, as you can see in the picture. He did a lot of penance and he got, Lord Shiva came to bless him. And he said, you know what, I need a boon from you, Lord Shiva, because he was pleased. He's a very noble soul. He said, okay, what do you want? He said, before Lord Shiva came, he was cutting his own body pieces and putting into the fire. That kind of penance he was doing. And when he was about to cut off his head, that's when Lord Shiva actually appeared. And he said, whoever will touch my head should die. I touch upon my head with my hand. Vrikasur will touch, he will die. May death come upon whoever I touch upon the head with my hand. So Lord Shiva was a little bit confused. Oh my God, if he touch my head, what will happen? He was confused, but he had to give the boon. So he said, okay, I will give you. He gave the boon. Now he said, now that you have given me, let me test it on you. Lord Shiva got terrified. He ran to Vishnu, said, Lord Vishnu, just see, I have to give the boon. Now he's testing it on me. Vishnu Murti said, okay, wait. I will help you. He disguised in form of a student and he said, you know what, you're such a great Raja, you are this, you are that, you're tired also. Why don't you rest for a while? You want to test it? You should first put their hand on their head. What if that Lord Shiva just artificially, just for fake sake, it may not be true also. Just try to put your hand on your head and test yourself. Otherwise, if it's not true, you can go and kill Shiva also. He may have tricked you, actually. So, foolish Vrikasur. in mode of ignorance, he put the hand on his head, and you know what happened. He burnt himself. So such sacrifice is done in mode of ignorance, completely mode of ignorance. So passion, we saw that in mode of goodness, as per scripture, as matter of duty, for no reward, in the mode of passion, for some material benefit, for sake of pride, and in mode of ignorance, they don't follow scriptures. They do not do anything, like they, without no prasadam, no Vedic hymns, nothing. No giving money to priests, and no faith at all. Austerity of body. Deva Dvijaguru Prajnam Pujanam Shaucham Arjavam Brahmacharya Mahimsa Cha Shariram Tapa Uchyate. Austerity of body consists in worshipping the Supreme Lord, Brahmana, spiritual masters, superiors like father, mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence. He's classifying austerity into three categories again: body, mind, and speech here. So in this verse, Lord Krishna is telling that austerity of body. So body is dedicated to whom? It is dedicated to, in the service of pure and saintly, and all sense indulgence in general should be avoided. This is what austerity of body supposedly means. That's what it is written here. So how such austerity should be done? With cleanliness, with simplicity, with not hurting others. You should be very polite, right? So you should do pranama. Now these kind of prananas you hardly see anybody do. Pra means what? In before, front of. Pra means. Nama means bending or stretching. So combined together means what? You are bending before somebody as a gesture of respect. You can see how you know everybody worships, right? So boys and girls should do this kind of namaskara. Boys must do Shashtang Namaskara. Girls must do Panchang Namaskara, right? All kinds of Namaskara. So we have so many. Ashtang means 8 body parts touch the ground. Shashtang means 6 body parts touch the ground. And Panchang means 5 body parts touch the ground. And Dandavat means 2 body parts touch the ground. Namaskar means you just fold your hands. Abhinanda means you greet by putting your head down, right? So nowadays nobody is following anything. Everybody has stopped doing it. They just do Abhinandan. They bow their head down. That's it. Austerity of speech. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaivam mangmayam tapa uchyate. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, not agitating to others, and also regularly reciting Vedic literature. Maharaj Yudhishthira always spoke the truth. Prahlad Maharaj, very honest, very helpful, very never annoyed anybody, even his dad, father. We should speak the truth, but we sometimes we think we can lie to them. We should speak kindly to people, to our elders especially. They scold us sometimes, but they scold us for our own good. We should not hurt anyone. Our words definitely can make an impact. So austerity of speech is what? Speaking truthful, pleasing, beneficial for the listener, right? So if we practice Vedic mantras, that also is included in the austerities of speech. Prahlad Maharaj was a great Vaishnava. He was qualified to serve the Lord. Why? Because he was completely humble while offering prayers to the Lord. Prahlad Maharaj was a pure, exalted devotee. He had great mannerisms. Lord personally said that Prahlad Maharaj is such a humble, gentle soul. He's so tolerant. He's so truthful. He's such a self-controlled devotee, right? So if you want to become, we should become like Prahlad Maharaj, pure, unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. That's what we need to give, right? Whenever I think about the speech, I always remember our ex-former president, Dr. Abdul Kalam's touching story, which he had written in one of the articles, which I had read, and it never leaves my mind whenever I read this passage, this shloka. So he says that when he was a kid, his mom cooked dinner one night. And one night when she made dinner, the roti got little burnt. So the sabzi was there, cooked vegetable was there, and the roti got little burnt. So his dad just sat down. He looked at it. He ate that roti. He looked at Abdul Kalam and he said, "Oh, how was your day at school?" That's it. Then he didn't say anything at night, right? But later on, he heard his mom saying, "Oh, so sorry, that roti got burnt." He said, "Oh, never mind, that's fine. I love burnt roti," said his dad. Later, when he went to say goodnight to his father, he asked him, "Really? Do you really like burnt roti?" Then he hugged him and he said, "You know what? Your mother, your mother works whole day. She works so hard, right? And she was especially very tired today. So a burnt roti, it will not hurt anyone, but harsh words will do." That's what I always remember that. So, son, life is full of imperfect things and imperfect people. I am not the best. I am hardly good at anyone. I keep forgetting anniversaries and birthdays like everyone else. So what I have learned over the years, his father is saying, is to accept others' fault and choose to celebrate relationships, he said. Life is too short to wake up with regrets, he said. So we have to understand that we have to love people who treat you right. And at the same time, be compassionate for the ones who don't. If somebody is not loving you, doesn't matter. Be compassionate to them and treat them right. Austerity of mind. Manas prasada samyatvam maunamatma vinigraha bhava samshuddhirityetat tapo manasa uchyate. And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self-control, purification of one's existence are austerity of mind. So mind is greater. Mind is greater than austerity of body and speech. Because if we can master the mind, body and speech automatically will be mastered. Reverse is not true. So Lord Krishna says, right, in 6th chapter, for him who has conquered the mind is best of friends. And for him who has failed to do so, mind is the greatest enemy. The shloka was like, बन्धुरात्मात्मनस्तस्य येनात्मैव आत्मनाजितः अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तेतात्मैव शत्रुवत्. So mind is our friend and enemy. So it's like a garden full of flowers, vegetables and fruits. We can grow all this in a beautiful way, or let it just leave it and let it grow wild. Up to us, right? So if we want to cultivate it beautifully, wonderfully, so what do we have to do? We have to remove those weeds that come in between and some harmful insects or anything that comes. We have to try to make it clean so that it grows well. Similarly, we have to cultivate our mind also. With how? Remove the weeds, the bad thoughts, put in good and pure thoughts, and remove the bad thoughts in the sense negative thoughts, unnecessary thoughts. Just that, those are like weeds. Just pluck it off. So if you allow resentful, hateful, blaming, unforgiving, maybe criticism, such kind of thoughts to reside in our mind, what will happen? They will give us they will have harmful and negative effect on us. So we should learn to control our mind and keep away from any kind of negativity, like especially like hatred, anger. We know 3 gateways to hell also, right? So these are the weeds that stop us in our progression towards Krishna consciousness. So in this great example is Shukadev Goswami. He was a young boy, 16 years old. He had developed all parts of the body, but he was totally equal. He had that mind, everything self-controlled mind. Like in chapter 5, he said, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shunicha Evashtapa Kecha Pandita Samadarshana. Whoever is a Pandita will see everybody equal, right? So he was that kind of that Shuddha Sattva stage. So the ladies were bathing. They were not having any clothes on him. They didn't mind when Shukadev Goswami went by, because they knew what stage he was in. But as soon as his father Vedvyas passed by, they started covering this one. Even though their father was also in that stage, but he was a family man, and he was playing the role of a householder. So that kind of austerity of mind that Shukadev Goswami had, and those women didn't. He never even looked to a man like a man or a woman like a woman. He was beyond all that. So that's a liberated soul. Austerity of body, speech, and mind. Shraddhaya aparaya taptam tapastatrividham naraihi apala akanchibhir yuktaihi satvikam parichakshate This threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men, not expecting material benefits, but engaged only in the sake of supreme, is called austerity in goodness. So once explaining about austerity of mind, speech, and body, Lord Krishna is now mentioning the characteristics which are performed in the mode of goodness. He says austerity loses its sanctity the moment we do it with the purpose of wanting something. The moment we want something, it loses its austerity. It must be performed in a selfless manner without attachment to the rewards. Then you will automatically, God will give his grace. Satkaramana pujartham tapodambena chaivayat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalamatruvam. Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It's neither stable nor permanent. So if you are wanting to attract attention and wanting respect from somebody, and that is why you're doing, then it's like, you want your subordinates to worship you, wash your feet, and like that. So it is like very artificial. It's in the mode of passion. Results are also very temporary, and they will be there for some time, but not permanent. Yeah, you never can hold a chair permanently. Chair will go. Nobody's indispensable. So if an austerity is performed for the sake of gaining respect or power or material rewards, then it's mode of passion. It's stated very clearly. Muda grahenatmano yat pidaya kriyate tapaha parasyotsadanartham va tattamasamudahritam. Penance performed out of foolishness with self-torture or to destroy or injure others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Like so many demons did. Hiranyakashyap, then he performed austere penance, right, to become immortal and to kill demigods. He prayed to Brahma for such things, and ultimately he was killed by Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? To undergo penances for something which is impossible is certainly mode of ignorance. Like you are doing so much of torture to your body. दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतं. Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. So you should give charity out of compassion, but if a poor man is not worth giving, then there is no spiritual advancement. So you have to discriminate between right and wrong here. So it is not recommended otherwise in Vedic literature to give to anyone and everyone. So from the wealth you have earned by rightful means, you can give some charity for the pleasure of God, right? What is real charity? Giving food, giving like food will, if you give food after 4 or 5 hours, again he will feel hungry. Clothes, 1 year maybe. Money, after some time it will be gone. It will last for some time. So answer is not that. If you give Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, tell them how to chant, tell their friends to join the course as like you did now, and help our Namnishta Prabhuji, because we're all engaged in understanding the nectar of Bhagavad Gita. That's the real charity in this Kali Yuga, because soul is getting credited. If it does not mean you shouldn't give any kind of roti, kapda or money, or roti, kapda, makan, not makan, money, but Srila Prabhupada says real charity is spreading Krishna consciousness. Yattu pratyupakarartham phalamuddishya va punaha diyate cha pariklishtam taddanam raja samsmritam. But charity performed with the expectation of some return or a desire for fruitive results or in a grudging mood is said to be in the mode of passion. Charity sometimes performed for elevation for heavenly kingdom. The best attitude of charity is to give without even being asked to do so. Nobody is asking, you are giving. That's the best attitude. But sometimes some people ask. Okay, that's the second best attitude. And sometimes, they are definitely asking, you can't say no to them. And then you are repenting, oh my God, why did I spend so much in this way? Why did I give so much? I should have given little less. I should have given a smaller amount maybe. That anyway you're giving. So third best attitude or sentiment. So Lord Krishna is classifying that, this kind of charity is called the mode of passion. Right? Look at the picture. Look at the way he is taking a picture, selfie. While giving charity, he's taking a picture to post it in the Facebook to popularize himself. Right? Actually, it is said that whatever you are giving, your left hand should not, whatever you're giving with your right hand, your left hand should not even know what you're giving. That kind of nature it should be. It should be in the mode of goodness, but it is not. This is a mode of passion. You want name and fame. Adeshakale yaddanam apatrabhyashcha diyate asatkritamavajnatam tattamasamudahritam. Charity performed at an impure place at an improper time to unworthy person without proper attention and respect is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So you're not even giving it to the proper place. He's asking for money. I need money for weed. If you're going to give money for weed or for drug addicts, that sort of contribution is in mode of ignorance. Such charity is not at all beneficial. You are giving to a drug addict. You're giving to a whom you don't even know. He may be an alcoholic who has become a drug addict, and he may end up committing a murder. And murderer will be definitely punished according to the law of karma. But person who has given charity also will be culpable for this offense, right? So this is not right at all. This is an example of charity who is in the mode of ignorance. We should not give to any undeserving person. This is wrong. Why? This is not the right type of charity. It is tamoguna, ignorance. If you think that person will use your money in the wrong way, then that karma will come to you as well. So always be careful who you are giving to. So charity in the three modes we have seen. In goodness, it's all good. We have no expectations. Passion, we expect returns and for enjoyment. And ignorance, totally we give to unworthy person. Om Tatsaditi Nirdeshaha Brahmanastrividha Smritaha Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajnascha Vitah Pura. From beginning of creation, three words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of Supreme. So this is, it has been explained like tapas, yajna, charity, dhanam, food, everything has been divided into three categories, the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. Now, whether first class, second class, third class, at least they're all conditioned and contaminated, right? They're given. But when they're aimed only towards God, Om Tat Sat, Supreme Personality of Godhead, it means it is becomes spiritual elevation. So that is why Krishna says that he is Omkara in all Vedic mantra. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu, he says, right? So Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. There is no difference between Krishna and Omkara. That's what he says. He says, I'm Pitamahasyam Masya Jagata Mata Data Pitamaha Vedyam Pavitram Omkara Riksama Yajur Revacha. He is all the Vedas. He is the Omkara. He is the father of the universe and the mother of the universe. He says, I am the word Om. So every time we are taking this word Om, it means we are taking Krishna's name. So everything starts with, in all the Vedic hymns, all the mantras start with the word Om. Tasmad Om Mityuda Hritya Yajnadana Tapakriyaha Pravartante Vidhanoktaha Satatam Brahmavadinam. Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performance of sacrifice, charity and penance in accordance with scriptural regulations begin always with Om to attain the Supreme. So syllable Om has a symbolic representation of the impersonal aspect of God. It is considered as same as the formless Brahman. It is also the sound Om. It is placed in the many Vedic mantras before. It's a Bija mantra. Performance of everything is on behalf of Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is to, he assures the perfection of all activity. Om means what? Vishnu. He helps to remember the Lord. Om, we are remembering the Lord by saying that we are remembering Krishna. Tadit yanabhisandhaya phalam yajnata pakriyaha dana kriyashta vividhaha kriyante moksha kankshibhihi. Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, charity with the word Tat. Purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement. If we want to elevate our position, we have to act, we should not desire for any material gains. We should do everything, all our actions should be performed such that we get transferred to Golok Vrindavan, back to home, back to Godhead, right? That means what? It means detached work, for the sake of liberation. We have to have detachment. Om is Krishna, Vishnu, and Tat means detachment for the sake of liberation. Sadbhave sadhubhave cha sadityetat prayujyate prashaste karmani tatha satchapta partha yujyate yagne tapisadane cha stitis saditi chocyate karma cha eva tadarthiyam sadityeva abhidiyate. The absolute truth is the objective of devotional service. The absolute truth. And it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat. And all the works of sacrifice, penance, charity, which true to absolute nature are performed to please the Supreme Person, O son of Pritha. So the auspiciousness of Sat is being glorified by Krishna. The word Sat, we always used, right? Whenever we want to say something good. Sat karma, good karma. Sad bhava, good feeling, noble feeling. So Sat is for good, sattvic. So steadfastness in sattvic yajna, tapat, charity, it is called Sat. Anything that is steadfastness and pure. So when spiritual practices or austerities or charity, they are performed only for spiritual development by offering our worldly results to God. Then they are called Sat because we are giving it. So Sat is what? Dedicate the activity for the pleasure of the God. So Om is Vishnu, right? Take the name of God. Om. Sat means detach yourself from worldly pleasures and for the sake of liberation. And Sat means dedicate whatever our activity is in the feet of Lord and his devotees. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam kritam chayat asadit yuchyate partha nachatat pretya no iha. Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme, O son of Pritha, it is impermanent. It is called asat and is useless both in this life and the next. So as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna had already stated, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. So he is sarvaloka maheshwaram. So what is the purpose of performing different yajnas? It's to satisfy the sarvaloka maheshwaram. If we water the root of the plant, root of the tree and the branches, the twigs, the flowers, everything will be automatically be satisfied, right? We just have to pour water in the root of the tree. So when we are offering sacrifices to God, it is definitely going, even if we are doing yajnas to demigods also, it will ultimately go to God only because they are also part and parcel of Supreme. So if we are worshipping the hand of a person, we are actually satisfying the person himself, right? So demigods are like parts of the Lord. In this conditional state, we get attracted to worshipping demigods, ghosts, yakshas like Kuber. So the mode of goodness is better than mode of passion. And of course, better than mode of ignorance, of course. But one who directly takes to Krishna consciousness, he will move above. He will move above all the three modes. He will transcend above all the three modes of nature. And that is what is recommended in this chapter, that you have to move up above that. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in 18th chapter, he will say, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion. Just surrender unto me. Whatever we do, we should constantly remember Krishna, Vasudeva. That is the message of this 17th chapter. So chapter 17, let's see the summary. The principle is categorization. Everything is categorized based on the three modes of material nature. And then aspects of lifestyle, faith, worship, then how we should worship God. Food also in three ways, right? What kind of food is good, bad, not good, mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Then how we should do in a mode of goodness, the sacrifice, we should do as per the scripture, right? We should not look for any rewards. And sacrifice in the mode of passion, they want some material benefit for the sake of pride. And mode of ignorance, it is conducted without any scriptural injunctions. They don't even eat prasadam, no chanting, nothing, right? Nothing happens in the mode of ignorance. Then is austerity of body. Austerity of body is like you respect everyone, you worship your gurus, your parents, everything, everybody. And then don't torture yourself, right? That will be ignorance. And passion is like respect. You respect just for selfish motive because you want to be important. You're a hypocrite. Then austerity of mind. In goodness, you are very nice, you're satisfied, you're content. In passion, you're not satisfied. And in ignorance, you're completely in illusion. And then speech, you have to be in mode of goodness, you have to be like Prahlad Maharaj, truth, pleasing, beneficial, like Maharaj Yudhishthira. And then in passion, you are gossiping and manipulative, selfish. Ignorance, you are completely lying and you're harming others also. Then charity you must do in mode of goodness, and you have to be very careful to who you are giving charity to. Then conclusion was significance of Om Tat Sat. Om means, as I told you, Vishnu. It helps us to remember the Lord. Tat means we are describing, we detach ourselves for the sake of liberation. And Sat means what? It is to dedicate whatever we are doing, the activity, for the pleasure of the Lord and his devotees. And the consciousness is why I do what I do. So this is very important. Why I am doing, what am I doing, and why I am doing. Is it beneficial? Is it correct way of doing it? That's the summary of this chapter. So Arjuna inquired about unauthorized worship. Lord Krishna answered, 3 modes determine one's faith and worship. Food in 3 modes, sacrifices in 3 modes, 3 kinds of austerity in 3 modes, charity, Om Tat Sat, sacrifice, charity, austerity should be offered to, everything should be offered to Supreme in the mode of goodness. Pancha kalpatarupasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Make Hare Krishna your lifeline. This is the lesson we are learning today, that he should be our